What's up, gang? Today we're talking books. Another month has passed. It is now September. Look at us go. So, that means it is time to recap everything that I read this fine August. So, I actually read quite a bit this month over different mediums, of course, but still got through a lot of stories, so that's what matters. We will be talking about 5 different books today. Kind of a lot, given that I think usually I talk about 2 to 3 books. So, bit of a step up, not bad, not bad. But this video might just be a little bit longer, so we'll just see how it goes. Anyways, the first book that I finished this August, I finished on the 2nd, and it was Miles Morales, a Spider-Man novel. Where is it? Where is that book? Right here. Miles Morales. I found this at Barnes & Noble. It was just like on the shelf. I was looking for this book. I didn't even know this existed, but I love Miles Morales. So I had to pick this book up. And it was sitting on my shelf for quite a while, but it is very thin and the text is relatively large. So I was like, you know what? It'll be a nice quick read. Why don't I just pick it up? It's not so much Miles being Spider-Man, which is why I assume Miles Morales is bigger on the cover than the word Spider-Man. Because he spends most of his time just being himself and not being Spider-Man. He actually spends a lot of the book denying being Spider-Man, or like giving up on being Spider-Man, because he thinks he's going crazy. Obviously, this contributes to like the mystery of the novel. Why does he feel like he's going crazy in this specific class with this specific teacher? What's going on, you know? He goes to this very nice school, a sort of like boarding school academy kind of thing, which is across town from where he lives, which he does not live in the best place, right? In New York. We're in New York? Yes. There's a very big difference between where he comes from and where he is now. And that's a big thing that this book plays on. Not so much Spider-Man versus the villain, but more Miles Morales, this kid, against society. That sounds like so pretentious, but that's really it. It's like how people of color have it more difficult just from the get-go because of people. So that is what a lot of this is about. Not only Miles getting himself into trouble, of course, but also the way other people can see how he's getting himself in trouble and the punishments he's getting because of what he looks like, and also how the bigger villain, the main big bad of the story, also ties in that idea as well of like racism. While I thought there was going to be more Spider-Man and like swinging around New York City and everything, not as much as I expected. But as I said earlier, probably why his name is bigger than Spider-Man on here, because it's more about Miles and not as much about Spider-Man. Kind of wish there was more swinging and web shooting, but that's okay, because I thought this was a very nice kind of slice of lifey kind of vibe. Not really, because of racism, obviously. Just like the school vibes, like the boarding school vibes, and like he has a campus job and stuff, doing his homework, crushing on girls, all that stuff. Very nice. Loved it. Just a nice little easy read. Also, I think I might have went a little too hard on the binding, because it does this now. It completely came off the spine of the book. So that's not good. I don't know if I got a faulty copy or if something was wrong with how I held this book, but she is falling apart, literally. So if I do end up rereading this, I will have to be very careful. But that is my first book for this month. I have to find my page again. Where's my list? Okay, the second book I finished was on the 8th. So 6 days. I had been listening to this book for quite a while. It was kind of like my gym book. I would go to the gym, listen to this book for however long I was there, and that was like the only time I really listened to it. And that is where I finished it, I'm pretty sure. I was not done with being at the gym when I finished the book. So, very weird emotions as I finished my little session. But it was Skywatchers. It's a sci-fi novel set in the 40s, 50s, set around like the end of World War II and like the Cold War-ish, that also deals with aliens. Very fun. I love this book. I want to like read it on paper, because I want to see if anything changes, but the narrator was great. Her voice, wonderful. The story, loved it. I loved the era it was set in. It's set in Monterey Bay in California. And the Skywatchers are watching the sky for enemy aircraft from Russia because communism. And they end up spotting an alien ship. Lo and behold, they go to look for it, and then they lose their memory. And the whole book is them trying to piece together what happened to them after they tried to go look for this ship. So good. So good. I don't even know what to say because I don't want to spoil it. It was such a cool concept to me when I read the little synopsis on my library app that I had to pick it up. And I am so glad I did. I am so glad I did. Check it out for yourself if you're into like space and aliens and science and all that fun stuff. Because, Anyways, moving on. The next book I finished, which was on the 14th, was The Green Witch. Where's that book? The Green Witch. This one I have little tabs in for reference because it's a non-fiction book and it had some stuff in here that I wanted to use in my everyday life. As you will see with the next book on this list, I was very encouraged this month to read non-fiction and learn new things because of the book I was reading. That will also be its own reading vlog, but that'll be out after this, so don't even worry about it. This was the first non-fiction book that I picked up with this newfound motivation. It is your complete guide of the natural magic of herbs, flowers, essential oils, and more. Essentially, using the earth to help you. I picked this up because I am interested in this kind of practice, even though I won't participate in it fully, probably ever. I still want to add some of these kinds of elements into my life because it's very cool. It's very cool, and I like it, and I like the idea behind it. The way that being a green witch means connecting with nature and the earth, which is something a lot more people need to do while we still can. But I also picked this up as reference for world building because they have a lot of spiritual associations with like plants. They have like this right here is wood, they have flowers, they have herbs, and like all their medicinal qualities or like what they're associated with in folklore. And I thought that was really cool to see what kind of associations people have made with natural phenomena to use in my own world building for my lovely fantasy stories that I never work on. But that was one of the reasons why. And that's what these first few taps are. They're just references for me to look back on. So that is The Green Witch. Very easy to read, very quick to get through. It sort of reads like the author is talking to you about this sort of work. So it is very conversational, which makes it fly by. I did not expect to get this book done as fast as I did, but I am not complaining. because I got another book done. But yes, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, I think this is a great place to find some referential things. Now, the next book, which will have its own reading vlog, because my dear friend Madison Peck recommended it to me, and I wanted to do a whole video for her because she's the best. But the book, the book is Vita Nostra, which I'm gonna keep my rant short here because I have a whole video coming out for this book. But incredible, incredible. Here she is. Just wait until I get this reading vlog out. It should be out soon after you see this one. But so good. The writing style, 10 out of 10. The sort of routine lifestyle that the main character goes through, 10 out of 10. Both the writing style and the routine sort of feel reminded me of Haruki Murakami, which I love Haruki Murakami. So obviously I'm gonna love this, right? The mystery of what she's doing, and what she's working towards, and how we as readers learn what's going on as she does. We don't know anything beyond what she knows. Incredible. Realization and the acceptance of what's going on, insane. I don't want to say too much, but beautiful, beautiful. It is a very long read. Took me quite a while to get through, compared to the other books on this little recap, but loved every minute of it. Every little bit of it was just so good. I think there was like one part maybe where my attention lulled for just like a few scenes, and I was right back in it, baby. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Wait for the reading vlog. I'll say a lot more. Moving on. This is the last book on my list. I finished it the day after I finished Vita Nostra, which I finished on the 23rd. I didn't think I said that. I finished Vita Nostra on the 23rd of August, and I finished this book on the 24th. Once again, another nonfiction book, because I was on a nonfiction kick because of Vita Nostra, because of like the whole school vibe. I was like, I want to learn something new. So, The Green Witch, I learned something about that. And now this book, The Sixth Extinction, I learned about how awful humanity is. This was great. I had to read it a little bit for school. I think we got like 3 chapters in school before my teacher dropped the assignments regarding this book, so I stopped reading it. But it's such an interesting concept and topic to talk about that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick it up one day and I'm gonna finish this book because I want to know how it ends. You know, obviously this is a nonfiction, so like it's not like it has some happy conclusive ending. And it's about mass extinction and how humans are driving the 6th one on Earth. So not fun and happy and stars and rainbows, but it was a very good book. I have not had any disappointing books so far this year, which is 10 out of 10 for me. But I assumed I would have liked this book, because you girl loves reading about ecology? Is that what this is called? Biology? Plants and animals. Love reading about it. So, I assumed I was going to love this one, even though it's talking about them dying. But it still falls under the same category. It counts. I feel like this book really easily breaks down the topics, like for just a normal person to read. It doesn't use too many big, specific words. And if it does, it breaks them down pretty smoothly so you can understand what's going on. So even if you don't know a thing about mass extinctions or science, probably pick up this book pretty easy and understand what's going on, which I really appreciated because I was reading Vita Nostra at the same time, which was a bit of a doozy on the mind from time to time. So having something that made me feel very smart and also be easy was great. I also picked up another one of this author's books halfway through reading this one because I just like her writing style. It's very clean, it's very to the point, and easy to understand. So I finished this one, and I have not read the second one that I have, but I will be getting to that soon because I'm on a bit of a nonfiction kick at the moment. But those are the 5 books I read this month. Not bad, not bad. Like I said, haven't had any books that I haven't liked so far. All of them, very enjoyable. Big props to my brain for picking them out. But that is it. Those are the 5 books. What did you guys read this month? Anything good? Anything bad? The good ones you should tell me about so I can buy them. The bad ones, maybe don't. But let me know in the comments so I can add to my little book collection. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. And hope to see you in the next one. Peace.